to Simone, I am asking you directly and publicly to please put a stop to this. Please ask your followers to stop.
You guys, the MyKayla Skinner-Simone Biles saga just took a nosedive into full-blown chaos. MyKayla has crawled back, half-heartedly fishing for an apology, but instead she's detonated a scandal bomb. She has literally just made everything a million times worse. Not only did she fail miserably, but she's also gone full-on attack mode on younger rising female gymnasts. The drama is turning into a full-on catastrophe. She literally needs to write down her points and stick to the script, because clearly the moment she turns on the camera, her brain does a backflip and suddenly she's speaking fluent nonsense. And on top of all that, people have revisited MyKayla's old tweets, so just in case you think this was a one-time mistake from her, sit back, because you're about to find out more disturbing truths about mean girl MyKayla. It is super messy, y'all, and we have to talk about it.
Anyway, my thoughts in the back of my head, I was like, I kind of wish I would have made a comeback.
I know. There's always that one person who is always off the grid. You'd think they're just joining us from Mars. For your sake, I'll do a very quick recap just to bring you up to speed before we get to the meat of the matter. No need to thank me. This whole mess kicked off with just one photo. This one. Ever heard that words can cause an explosion? That's literally what happened. People were quick to connect the dots and realize that Simone was referring to the insensitive and unnecessary comment MyKayla Skinner made in a now deleted YouTube video. MyKayla deleted that video after facing backlash for saying that the upcoming gymnasts were not putting in the work because they lacked talent and depth. I kid you not, those are her exact words.
But besides Simone, I feel like the talent and the depth just isn't like what it used to be. Just notice, like, I mean, obviously a lot of girls don't work as hard. The girls just don't have the work ethic.
This was such a bold statement coming from someone who only made it to the 2021 Tokyo Olympics because she stepped in for Simone Biles, who had to drop out due to the twisties. Anyways, I digress. So remember, MyKayla had already received a truckload of hate when she said this. She even apologized and added that her words were misinterpreted and that she had been misunderstood. She deleted the video, forgot about it, and people moved on. Or so she thought. Turns out MyKayla's fellow gymnast Simone Biles took that comment a little too personally and brought it back at the worst time possible because the whole world is watching the Olympics right now. Here's what her comment section looked like on that post. You went from twisties to don't get it twisted. Love it. The caption is also worthy of a gold medal. It doesn't get more iconic than this. She effed around and found out for real. LOL, she probably so jealous that you guys won. Simone has the best clap back. LMAO. Congrats to the best ever. I don't see how you can hate from outside the club. You can't even get in. And just like that, MyKayla has been getting roasted non-stop for over a week straight. Fast forward to a few days later, what does MyKayla do? She picks up the camera again and says enough is enough. Well, she didn't exactly put it like that, but something close. And loves, once again, she's getting dragged for filth. First of all, MyKayla said she was extremely shocked when Simone made that post now that she had apologized and people were supposed to move on. She also disclosed that after deleting the first video, she had sent individual messages to each of the women on the team, but none of them responded apart from Simone. Only Simone had responded, and she told me that she was proud of me. You guys can imagine my surprise last week when I was celebrating our team winning gold, just to see this brought up all over again by a caption on an Instagram post.
I sincerely hope that this topic wouldn't need to be revisited, but unfortunately things have really gotten out of hand lately, and it's one thing to disagree with me regarding something I have said or a point I was trying to make, but it's something else entirely when that turns into cyberbullying or even worse.
So, according to MyKayla, it is entirely Simone's fault that she is getting all this hate. And please don't get me wrong, I do not condone cyberbullying, but what has Simone got to do with this? For someone of her standard and also a sports person, MyKayla was totally out of line to make such remarks. You'd have better luck convincing me that the sky is green than making me believe that this wasn't intentional. She recorded herself saying what she said, posted it with her head held high, and not once did she think there'd be consequences. MyKayla might have missed the memo because at this point, even toddlers know the internet never forgets.
But besides Simone, I feel like the talent and the depth just isn't like what it used to be. Just notice, like, I mean, obviously a lot of girls don't work as hard. The girls just don't have the work ethic.
But that's not the only disturbing thing that MyKayla said. She also mentioned that she wasn't referring to Simone and that she was instead talking about the poor work ethic and lack of talent within the young and upcoming gymnasts. Ugh, this is exactly why sometimes people just need to stop talking. Like, seriously, there's already bad blood between her and her former teammates. Why is she recruiting more haters? Cause now even the young and up and coming gymnasts she was apparently referring to have a bone to chew with her. Her statement speaks volumes about the type of sports person and team member she truly is. She literally sounds like someone who is difficult to work with or the kind of teammate who puts their juniors down. No wonder she was shocked that Simone stood up for the others. First of all, athletes, as we all know, are constantly under the microscope and enduring relentless criticism. You're only celebrated when you're on top, and even then, only until the next game. Win 10 times in a row, and it's forgotten with the blink of an eye when you stumble once. You're only as good as your last performance, and the heat comes from every corner. Coaches, media, sports analysts, commentators, opponents, sponsors, and don't even get me started on the fans. It is a pressure cooker of judgment. So when it comes to fellow athletes who have walked the same treacherous path, they should be the last to pile on the criticism, unless of course they're deluded by their own inflated ego or happen to be MyKayla Skinner, who I repeat did not even make it to the previous Olympics out of merit. She was only there as a part of the 2020 USA Gymnastics women's team because Simone Biles had an injury and someone had to fill in. Not only was she disgraceful, but she also showed the lack of empathy and instead had a staggering amount of arrogance. To make matters worse, she is literally drenched into victimhood. Seriously, the audacity it takes to spin this story and expect anyone to buy it is beyond disgusting.
The last thing I wanted was to cause harm or offend our US Olympic team. I know these women are incredible, the very best of the best, and almost all of them are my former teammates who I have enjoyed very much cheering on the last few years.
Even when she was apologizing for her mean comments in the deleted video, she still somehow managed to spin the whole thing around and started acting like a victim. Part of her apology read, "Upon reflection, I was comparing the Marta era to the current era. I am coming to terms that I have not fully dealt with the emotional and verbal abuse I endured under Marta that perhaps led to my hurtful comments." Yeah, right. It's giving, "I'm sorry I was mean to you, but that's just because someone was mean to me as well." She keeps going lower and lower, guys.
If Simone truly believes that I called our team lazy and lacking talent, and if that's really how she feels, I am really heartbroken over it.
She seems to have been making sense for a hot minute until people noticed that she twisted things and made this about her. Turns out the real reason MyKayla recorded this second video was not because she was genuinely sorry. She was heartbroken over something else.
But heartbroken because Simone's latest post and others that followed it fueled another wave of hateful comments, DMs, articles, and emails. Hate that includes death threats to me, my family, and even my agent. So my family and my friends don't deserve to be caught in the crossfire here.
Girl, Simone's post isn't the real reason you are going through a new wave of hate, trolls, and threats. You are the reason why all of that is happening to you and your loved ones. Anyone who has experienced even the slightest of online bullying knows that whatever MyKayla is going through right now is probably one of the worst things to ever happen to anyone. But let's call a spade, not a big spoon. She is the one who put this on herself, her family, her friends, and agent in the line of fire.
So, my family and my friends don't deserve to be caught in the crossfire here.
And neither does the gymnast deserve being labeled lazy, lacking talent, and depth. So basically, this was not an apology. This video was simply to ask Simone to stop all the cyberbullying. The cyberbullying that she brought on herself. And before I forget, MyKayla blocked Simone and all the other gymnasts after that Instagram post. So how exactly does she expect Simone to see this and end the bullying?
To Simone, I am asking you directly and publicly to please put a stop to this. Please ask your followers to stop. You have been an incredible champion for mental health awareness, and a lot of people need your help now. We've been hurt and attacked in ways that I am certain you never intended.
Ugh, it's always the mental health card. They never miss to pull the mental health card, guys. Of course, the lazy and untalented gymnasts weren't mentally affected by her remarks. Not at all. Plot twist, MyKayla, Simone's post might have painted you in a bad light, but it was actually meant to boost her teammates' mental health. The one that you tried to crash. So yeah, you are right. Simone is truly a mental health advocate.
Your performance, the team's performance, and the Olympics in general should be a time that we support one another and lift each other and our country up. I love our country and I love our team, and I hope that we can move on and move forward and cheer on the rest of our teammates and our athletes together.
All right, moving on to the final part of the story, you'd probably still want to give MyKayla some benefit of the doubt because we've all had those days. Sometimes you mean to say something, but it comes out so bad, before you know it, things have spiraled out of control. I thought so too, until I did a little digging, guys, and MyKayla is 100% a mean girl. Turns out that this wasn't the first time she was spreading mean vibes to her teammates. She has done this on numerous occasions, one of them being an incident back in 2016 when one of her teammates, Gabby Douglas, made it to the list that would represent Team USA women's gymnastics. MyKayla, on the other hand, was just an alternate and she couldn't stomach that. Would you believe that MyKayla took her sweet time to like every single comment that shaded Gabby Douglas for being selected over her? MyKayla may have been disappointed because she barely missed out on the list, but people found her actions super inconsiderate. Why can she not take a class on sportsmanship? It is okay to be disappointed you're not on the team. The other 12 girls who made it to trials and are alternates or not on the team would love to be Skinner right now. Must she like bad tweets that we can all see to get her passive-aggressive point across? This incident officially cemented MyKayla's title as the most hated gymnast, especially because one of the tweets she had liked included a doctored photo that showed her face on Gabby Douglas's body, and even included a racist series of emojis. Of course, she later apologized. MyKayla will always apologize after doing something shady that she shouldn't have done in the first place. Also, isn't it super funny that she normally gets up her feelings just when the Olympics are around the corner and when she isn't part of the team, like the 2016 situation and now this? Guys, this right here explains where this bitterness is coming from. MyKayla just cannot wrap her head around the fact that she is retired and now other gymnasts are basking in the spotlight that she lived for. Worse still, it literally kills her that they are paving a way better than she ever did.
If I could come back, I think I would be able to do it. And I think I probably could have made that Olympic team.
MyKayla, please sit down and shut up. Anyways, loves, back to the recent standoff. By now, it goes without saying that MyKayla's apology wasn't received so well. If anything, it felt like she was slamming Simone and blaming her for the cyberbullying. I extremely dislike when someone talks smack unprovoked and then gets mad when people respond. She came at them, insulted them and their work ethic, said they lacked the depth of talents. Then when she initially apologized, she blamed it on her previous coach. Now she's posting that Simone and Team USA athletes should support each other. My dear, you took the first shot and not supporting Team USA. MyKayla crying and asking Simone to call off her fans after talking mess is the most Karen thing in 2024. What is it with people dragging people and then begging them to call off their fans? How about don't start none, won't be none? Since she decided to go public with her opinions, the public is coming for her. This has nothing to do with Simone. Someone else said, LOL child, Simone can't even get her fans to stop calling her husband Mr. Biles. This was super hilarious, but also true at the same time because people have literally refused to call Mr. Simone Biles with his real name. I recently did a lengthy video about Simone where I explained why people hate her husband, Mr. Biles, so much, so if you missed it, please go back and watch. Anyways, guys, that's all for today's video, and as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Also, what do y'all want me to talk about next? Please let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and see you all in my next video.